the Football Pod on Off the Ball in partnership with AIB, proud sponsors of the Football, Hurling and Camogie All-Ireland Club Championships. Hashtag the toughest.
Hello there, and you're very welcome along to another episode of the Football Pod. It's a Monday evening, it's December, it's gotten cold all of a sudden, lads. It's been freezing the last couple of days. James, Paddy, how are you both doing?
Very good, Tom. How are you?
I'm good. Just warmed up. I was in Croke Park earlier. Paddy, we didn't get a chance to chat at the launch of GAAGO's championship coverage.
It was a brilliant launch. Yeah, it was a brilliant launch. Obviously, great product, as we all know. So look, you have an exclusive here now for an hour.
Exactly.
It was a long morning, or a couple of hours in there this morning. So, good catching up with it, lads.
We were just talking about the merits of a good headshot earlier, and if anyone's looking at Paddy's Instagram, they'll see that sultry look when he's staring down the camera. James, he's good at it, isn't he?
Great content, isn't it?
It was a nice photo, not to be fair. Fierce.
You need something
pay
to work
your man a serious amount of coin to just trim that down, like Photoshop the shit out of that. Like.
There's a few filters on it, like.
Oh, big time. So that's what you're paying them for. That's the gig.
100%.
Professional photographer.
Tommy, nice to be in Croke Park, Tom.
It is nice.
You could have been there with the club if things went a bit better, but
man, our snakes, aren't they? Is that right, Tommy?
I've never said that. Never once said that. And
it was looking well though, wasn't it? I was absolutely.
It's always looking well.
Baltic in there today, though. So we're down the pitch side for an hour or two. But there's no more games there for the rest of the year. The club finals on Saturday. The Leinster football and hurling finals were the last games, I think.
Were they?
They're in Croker until.
There's surely no concert or something on, is there?
Or till the All-Ireland Club semi-finals will be there the second week of January. No, I don't think there's anything between now and the club semi-finals in January. Tommy, you're looking.
Girls allowed, no?
Take a run.
No.
Next summer. Cold.
It is a frighteningly cold stadium.
Yeah. At the best.
Whatever it is about
you could be there in June and July and you could freeze your whole off. Never mind. First week of December. Like.
Even in the middle of summer, yeah. No, I just was looking up fixtures. I can't find them. I have a feeling there could be other fixtures on before Christmas. The women's and camogie finals not on before Christmas. I think they could be.
Oh,
I know Nafina of Meath, there was that big story last week. They had to play their camogie semi-final and their women's football semi-finals the same weekend, a Saturday and a Sunday. Have you ever had to play 2 games in 2 days?
Sigerson. No.
Sigerson,
yes. Cup, yeah.
What'd you make of that?
Sigerson.
Geez, it was mad because you were only 21, 22 and you were still wrecked. So I think they've cancelled it, haven't they? That doesn't happen anymore at Sigerson.
No.
It used to be the weekend.
The weekend,
Friday and the Saturday, and then you go on the piss for about 4 days after as well. So, geez, it was a tough week. But no, that was the only time. It has happened in club championship before, though. Even on the men's side as well, hasn't it?
Oh, it has. I was doing a bit of research.
County championships are dragged out and they play the first round of the provincial championship the following day or something. It's definitely come across a couple of times before.
Corofin played Ballina. Corofin were All-Ireland champions back in 1998 and they drew Ballina after winning Galway in the first round of Connacht. And the Galway championship had been delayed significantly because of Corofin's run to the All-Ireland final. So...
What? No, it was because Galway won the All-Ireland in 98.
In 98, yes, but also, but you're right. That's exactly it. You're 100% right.
Corofin bet Erin's Isle in the final.
So
Redmond,
the following club campaign, they win Galway again and they meet Ballina. Yeah. So there was a provision put in place that if there's a draw in the first game on the Saturday, Corofin will stay the night in Ballina and they play the replay on the Sunday.
What?
So there was war about this afterwards.
Why not just go...
Oh, they had to do it.
Did they go extra time and then replay, or did they just go straight to a replay?
This is GAA schedules, isn't it? Like
they went
back 25 years ago.
They should have gone sudden death extra time. That would have been the bee's knees. No, there was no penalties. But imagine sudden death extra time. Next score wins.
Anyways.
And I guarantee you, on next score wins in extra time, the next attack could win.
I think you're right.
Because when teams actually have to score, they score. It's when they flute around with it.
You have a bee in your bonnet, Jimmy, ahead of the Ulster Club final this weekend.
I am going to watch. I'm going to watch the last 5 minutes of that game, and it is going to be worth it.
Just tune in. 58 minutes.
There'll be a point in it. Either way, on 58 minutes. That's my prediction.
Before we get into that, though, that was some launch today, wasn't it?
Paddy, it was. There's a full podcast out on Off the Ball right now in the OTB feed for anyone who wants to listen to me talking to Michael Murphy, Mark O'Shea, Owen Cadigan, Bubbles O'Dwyer, Richie Hogan, Aaron Kernan, all the key pundits for GAA.
Yeah.
I saved you for the season.
Well, sure, look, there's no point double jobbing there, is there?
No, not exactly.
So do you have to pretend to know about hurling as well now at the new gig?
No,
Yeah.
I wash my hands in the hurling. Like, no, definitely not.
Tommy does though. Tommy.
Pretends to that. Yeah. Limerick can go out there. Limerick can go for that again this year. They will. Richie Holden was looking at making 2 fucking heads. Like.
Yeah, I was tempted to start playing a bit of hurling in Cratloe. I think I might wait for another year or two until I'm definitely fully dropped by Colin Collins. Then I might pick up the junior C. I think I might try and give myself another chance to play next year.
Couple more black cards, Tom.
A few more, yeah. It'd be no harm, yeah. You interrupted me when I was in the middle of telling you that historical story about Ballina and Corofin back in '98. The game ended a draw the first day. Ballina win by two afterwards. Anyways, that was it. Nafina won their camogie at the weekend. They lost the football on Sunday. So
was that the turnover goal?
No, that wasn't. No. That wasn't. That was in the junior, I believe. That was remarkable, wasn't it?
So tough. They kept going backwards and backwards and backwards, and eventually there was nowhere left to go. But went back to the keeper. She was turned over back in the net.
Surely you've been a part of teams that have done things like that in the middle of matches, not getting caught for it, but have gone backwards and backwards and backwards and look like they're going to get caught, right?
My philosophy on that is, if you're going to hold the ball, you hold it as high up the field as you can.
Yeah.
And then if you have to go back, you can go back. But you gotta go forward, because that's where your better players are anyway, probably from the middle up. Once you start going back to full back line in the goalkeeper positions, even the crowd gets jittery.
But you know, isn't there a thing like, if you're really under pressure, just launch it out of play into the stand?
Kilmacud did that. Do you remember the Kilmacud goalie? No, he did launch it. He launched it straight.
He put it into the worst
into
place.
the middle of the field.
He kicked it straight into the middle of the pitch. If he just boots that into the stand, it's a set play. You have time to get everyone set. But if because everyone's out of position, you launch it into the middle of the pitch, it's literally the worst place you can turn it over. But
holding the ball though is it's so dangerous.
Hold the ball a lot. You need to be very, very comfortable at doing it. But we would have done it a lot, and we'd always hit that in your own half. Try and get it out of there as far up the pitch as you can. Because it's just, you're even watching it, even as a neutral, you're looking, going, "Oh, this could go horribly wrong." Like so.
Because when you're going back, you're being chased by the other team. So eventually, when it does go back to the goalie, they're looking out at about 8 opposition players just running straight at her in that situation, and she was always going to be turned over.
But all the opponents, as well, are getting desperate, aren't they? Like, they're lunging in for tackles, and all it needs is just one of them to go right, and they'll turn you over. Like you might be able to sidestep one of them, but they've 15 people pressed up on you as well. Someone's going to get contact on you, and
the referee is giving you absolutely nothing.
The ref is against you there.
He just puts the whistle in the pocket.
Yeah, he's waiting for something.
Do what you like.
Yeah.
The value, Paddy, I'm sure it was the same for you boys. You probably had 3 or 4 key players there. I'm sure there's a lot of you that could do it, but you probably had 3 or 4 key players who you really wanted on the ball.
Yeah, same as any team. As Jimmy says, same as any team. There's guys who are more comfortable on the ball, even at senior inter-county level, that you want, and there's guys that are not as comfortable on the ball.
Yeah,
it's from under 14 teams the whole way up to senior inter-county teams. There's guys who are more comfortable soloing the ball and keeping it. We were no different as well. You know, like Scully or Kilkenny and these guys who were key to being on it. And then the other lads, if they get it, and you're like, "Oh, this could go wrong." And we were lucky. I don't think we ever had it. We definitely times we were keeping the ball. We'd won against Donegal in 2016, the quarter final. Keane Sullivan skews a kick.
Yes. Did a goal come from that?
Yeah. Roy McHugh scores a goal. We won the game anyway, thank God. But that brought Donegal right back in. But we were keeping the ball, and Keane just he's trying to kick pass and just sliced it off the outside of the field again, like the Kilmacud, right to the middle of the pitch.
I can picture it. Yeah.
And every one of us, he was like on his own 45, and we were like, "Oh fuck!" He kind of knew, and sure enough, they go up the pitch of all the teams to do it against.
Yeah,
and they got a goal, and it's one of the only ones I can think where we kind of got caught doing it. I think we're generally all right.
It was Ballinamore, Sean O'Heslin's who won at the weekend. They were 2 points down against Steelstown of Derry in that women's intermediate All-Ireland semi-final. And I suppose the pressure from the forwards was huge, but Steelstown just kept going back and back and back and just got caught and just nightmare stuff. Those finals, Paddy, Aaron Croker. That's why I was glaring at you earlier. Sorry for the dirty
Christmas week.
No, they're the 16th, 17th, 99% sure. So this weekend, we're obviously down to the last 6 in the senior All-Ireland Club Football Championships. We witnessed 2 pretty good games, I would say, in their own rights. We had Naas putting it up to Kilmacud Crokes in the first half, Kilmacud Crokes pulling away in the second half. And
that wasn't a great second half. I thought that was a really, really good quality first half as well from both teams. Second half, it was just very cagey, wasn't it? I thought Naas were probably the better team in the second half of that. Just couldn't get it, couldn't score.
They had their chances, didn't they?
They had chances. They'd be kicking themselves. It was a classic Crokes performance again, wasn't it? Just like they ended up winning by 7. And it's like you're thinking, they're not really doing anything here. Struggling for scores in the second half, yet I never really thought they were going to lose.
They were never in trouble.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? And it's like, they used to be fair credit to them. Second half, they worked hard. Jesus Christ, the intensity. They pushed up all over the pitch. And they, like I said, they had opportunities to win. But it's third time in a row they come short against Crokes.
Yeah.
Lovely. I thought it was a great finish. Shea Walsh's goal.
Beautiful.
It was a beautiful, beautiful goal. He was back to his best there, which was massive for Crokes. But a really good first half. Second half, I just thought it was, I thought quality-wise, both teams are working really hard, but I thought quality-wise, second half, it definitely dropped off a bit.
I thought Alex Beirne was just exceptional in that first half for Naas, the wing forward, number 10. He kicked 4 points. Kevin Feely on commentary.
Didn't he? Like, he was brilliant in the first half.
Did they shut him down in the second half? Because Kevin Feely described him as unmarkable in that first half.
No, I still think he got on the ball in the second half. He just wasn't clinical enough. I thought it was kind of mirrored Naas. It was Naas's day in a nutshell. You know, I agree. I thought he was probably the best player on the pitch in the first half. Andy McGowan was marking him. He was causing Andy McGowan all sorts of trouble. I thought there was a great battle with Dara Kirwan and Theo Clancy.
Agreed.
Yeah, that was the one.
I think Dublin are going to be looking at this young fella. He was with the 20s. He's still only a young guy, and there's definitely times Kirwan probably got the better of him, but just the way he plays, he's a really abrasive full back. He's strong, he's athletic, he's tight. Like I say, he's learned a bit of patience, I suppose, a bit of finesse with his tackling, but he's only a kid, you know, he's going to develop that. But there are, you know, he's from the same club, shades of like a young Rory O'Carroll there, who was really all in, just a handful to mark, and he had a really good battle with Derek Kirwan.
There's something in Kirwan as well. I think he's a serious player, but like
he's an erratic shooter.
No, I disagree. I don't think he's erratic in terms of. I don't think he's erratic in terms of shot selection. I agree, but not in terms of shot selection. Every shot he takes is on.
Yeah,
but his striking can be off at times. He tops it and he drops it short, or he might top it and drag it wide.
At stages this year, Jimmy, he gets great positions. He's strong. He's fast. He's direct. Like he could go. There could be days where he scores 8 or 9 points.
Yeah, that's the thing.
There could be days where he scores 2.
How do you fix that, James?
I'm sure he is.
I mean, he's obviously a natural kicker. It's probably a bit of composure that you just snap at them every so often, because the way he misses them is always the same. I think he just top spins the ball a little bit and he doesn't catch it, because he's a lovely sweet kick when he hooks it nicely. But I think he's a nice shade of greedy. He's on the right side of greedy, where
spoken like a true corner forward.
Yeah, he's not looking to pass the buck. He doesn't want to dish it to a fella to tap it over. He knows that he's the best kicker and he can take it on. And he did miss. You're right, Paddy. He misses chances. He missed a lot with Kildare as well. And all the Kildare forwards have that in them. They can hit. If they hit the first 1 or 2, they all go over. If they miss 1 or 2, they might.
Similar Highlands. Daniel Flynn. But he's a lot of very good attributes.
Yeah.
But I've seen about
he's natural.
Now, underage with Kildare, and then obviously with the senior team as well. And it's if he was just, I suppose you could say this with any forward, if he was just a bit more clinical, he'd be right up. I think he could be Kildare's main man. He could be the top forwards in the country. And
what age is he?
Young, 23 maybe.
Yeah, and that's he's
23.
He's played on one. You've seen a lot of him. You know, he's in a really good club team. He's going to be a key player for Kildare as well.
Why was he wearing 20? Was he was carrying a knock on him? Was he?
No,
He's been wearing 20 most of the club championship, so maybe he didn't start a game, or maybe they brought him in late.
But again, it was similar though. Again, could be Beirne, they had opportunities, and I thought out of the three, they played Crokes 3 times and I've lost all 3. I thought Saturday was the closest and the best opportunity for it to win the game. They'd be disappointed not to get over the line. But,
there's so many men to mark against Kilmacud though. Like, if you keep one quiet, there's 3 causing damage. If you keep 2 quiet,
all over the pitch.
Yeah. But even up front, they scores from everywhere.
Yeah.
And when they want to turn it on, I think they can.
Played with Offaly, he had a good game. Walsh was obviously very good. Mannion was good, but not probably the way you'd associate with Mannion in terms of shooting the lights out. But you could see then in an All-Ireland semi-final, it could be Mannion who scores 5 or 6 points.
Yeah.
It was Mannion the week before in the semi-final. This week it was Shane Walsh. And that's, like we said it a couple of weeks ago, we're talking about winning the All-Ireland. What teams are going to have... Like, there's no team that has 2 lads like Mannion and Walsh. You know, okay, Jack McCarroll, Conor McCarthy, Scottstown, Corofin, who were surprisingly, they were well beaten. Ben O'Carroll was exceptional for Brigid's in their win. But, you know, if Crokes get hot, if those 2 boys get hot together, there's no club team that's going to stop them, you know. So
even, do you know, when one of them goes quiet, it's nearly a good thing for them, because the opposition forgets about them in a way. Like, because whoever's on fire is going to get all the attention for a span of it. And then if they can just maintain it for a while, then the other fella comes into it, then switch it back. Like, they're never both on it together.
Yeah,
they don't
I
have
haven't
to
seen
be.
them really, both of them, the same since Shane Walsh has been at the club. But the one thing they do, and you can see this with all the teams that have been successful, Brigid's were the same the other day, Glen and Scottstown in the north as well, they work exceptionally hard. You know, and it's forwards, tackling, tracking back, shutting down runners. It's no secret to success. Best teams have it. And I thought Crokes, even though, like I say, Mannion might have been at his best, or Shane Walsh even, is probably maybe not as known for it. There was times in that first half he's back getting blocks, turning guys over. So it gives you a hell of a chance if your forward line are doing that as well. But for Crokes, like I say, it wasn't their, by any means, their best performance, but they end up winning the game by 6 or 7 points, you know. So
for sure. And for Naas, like, it probably doesn't reflect how close they got this time. Like, they've been further away the previous 2 times. Interesting to hear you mention that about Theo Clancy, because he's impressed me whenever I've seen him as well, Paddy. But Kirwan and Beirne, for me, lads, they kind of represent the potential that always seems to exist in Kildare. And like, just see how good they are. And there's plenty of footballers like that in Naas, and we've seen plenty of them over the years. Like, if Kildare can click, and it's one of these teams that on paper they always look like they have the raw materials to make something happen. A little bit like, yeah. Actually, Michael Murphy told me today. Yeah, he put it today that they were 5th or 6th in Ulster going into this year's Ulster. It's hard to disagree with that, like, but I said to Michael, on paper, you wouldn't back against them. James, just as we were chatting there, Donegal, Tyrone, Derry, the same side. Just as we were chatting there, we were just in terms of how Naas lost that game. How would you rather lose a match? Would you rather lose a match? Would you rather lose a match, like, absolutely, like, trying your very best and just falling short, or would you rather just have a complete off day and, you know, it's just, you write it off afterwards? Like, so like Naas obviously were in the mix, they did far better than they've done previously against Crokes, or you've got Corofin, who were utterly flat and devoid of any energy that they've illustrated over the last couple of weeks, and we'll probably look back on that as being a real regret of theirs, you know.
In terms of how you prefer to lose, like,
personally, how would you like to lose?
Would you rather be buried alive, burned alive?
Drowned.
I would say,
answer the
definitely, without a doubt, you'd rather play your best and be beaten by a better team. No regrets, no lying in bed going, "Why didn't I?" or "What was wrong?" or "Why were the legs heavy?" That's a way worse place to be mentally, I think. You'd rather go out and everyone play well. You perform as a team. You're just
it wasn't good enough.
It just wasn't your time. I think that's easier to live with. They're both horrible, because that is actually admitting you're not good enough, which is probably horrible as well. But at least you can close your eyes that night.
At least you tried.
Yeah.
Not that the Corofin didn't try, but it just didn't happen for Corofin lads at the weekend. And like, sometimes that can happen to a team where you're looking out and it just looks flat, and they just need something to kick into gear to spark them to life. And
I thought Bridges were exceptional. Like and I'll hold my hands up here. I expected Corofin to win that game. First club prediction I've got wrong so far this year, and I got it well wrong because Bridges were full value for it.
I won't go check.
We've only done 3.
I won't go checking the stats.
And the other 2 were bang on.
Crokes, Kilmacud Crokes.
Yeah, I fucking was. Do you know what the Bridges performance? I was saying to you today, Tommy. It reminded me of the Rossies kind of ambush and Mayo in the Connacht Championship, where they did a brilliant game plan, executed to an absolute T. And yeah, Corofin weren't great, but the amount of times Bridget's just were in their face, they outworked them, outsmarted them, turned them over. You could see Corofin getting frustrated, struggling to get scores and all. Gary Sice has a bit of an off day. Michael Lundy's yellow card in the first half where he kind of lashes out. That was just a team who were so frustrated at how things were going. But on the other side, I'm a massive fan of Ben O'Carroll.
I know.
I thought he was exceptional for the Rossies this year as a target man. Probably the smallest target man in GAA, but he's so effective, so sharp. And Bridget's played to his strengths. But we said for him to go to the next level, it is about being really clinical then. And I thought on Sunday he was. He had the chances. And
he was lucky with his first shot. Obviously, it dropped about 20 yards short and bounced over the bar. And then his second shot dropped 20 yards short and didn't bounce over the bar. And then he gets a free in front of the post. And then he gets a penalty. And suddenly he's the only scorer in the game at 1-2. That is a brilliant way to start a game of football.
But isn't it like Beirne power for the first point? The ball bouncing over the bar is not great now. But for Corofin, Jimmy, we've probably all played games like this. With your favourites going in, you get off to a slow start, and before you know it, your opponents, they're in your face, they're all over you, and you turn the ball over again, and it just gives them a lift, and you start getting more frustrated, and then you start losing a bit of discipline. And they gave away. I thought maybe some of the frees were maybe a little bit soft, but they were given, and it's another handy score for Brigid to push the lead out again and again, and then before Corofin know it, they're 4 or 5 points down, and they're frustrated all over the pitch. And Bridget's are like, they're on a roll. Like Brian Stack, exceptional.
So good.
Midfield. Like the core of the Bridget's team, they just got more and more energy with every play. And that can happen to you in a game where it just snowballs. The momentum, and it's so hard to get it back. And you just seen, kind of 20 minutes in there, you could see, Corofin are under pressure here. This game is starting to get away from them. They get the goal before half-time, Silk's goal, and you think, okay, that's the lifeline. They're still 4 points down at half-time. You think, they're going to come out hot in the second half. And they do. They're on top for the first 10 minutes of the second half, but they just don't convert chances.
Crucially, they kick 3 wides, they have a goal chance saved. They're 2 goals, they're 2 chances, they're 2 scores, a goal in injury time. They're 1-7 to 2 points down, they get a goal. They get the next score.
Brilliant goal from Silk, gets the turnover, gets up the pitch, and then gets the goal.
What a footballer, lads.
Yeah. What a footballer. But isn't that like the type of thing you go, okay, they're back in it now. Good shot at half time and come out and blitz it at the start of the second half. And to an extent they did, but they just didn't finish.
But the second that second goal goes in from Dylan McHugh, and that was a real leader's goal, that one. It was a great goal. Second that goes in, Brigid's come to life. And that man, Ben O'Carroll, scores 2 points. And then after that, Brian Stack breaks up the field and kicks a point, and they get another point from a turnover from a kick out. And suddenly, that kind of power and that enthusiasm, that pace and purpose.
The race was run then at that point.
They were just so much better. But it was just one of those games. And I'd seen Corofin over the last couple of weeks, and looking at their bench the other day, I was like, look at the depth here. Kieran Malloy on the bench.
They're back in, yeah.
5-time All-Star, Dahi Burke on the bench, multiple All-Ireland winners in Ronan Steed, and a couple of other key footballers that are serious options to bring off the bench. The Farrers as well. Tony Gill, who scored the goal in the county final.
But they've no complaints, Tommy, from that at the weekend.
They couldn't have complaints.
Absolute full value for that victory. It was a brilliant team performance.
So Ben O'Carroll is man of the match, and he scores 1-7, a point shy of Shane Walsh's total at the weekend. He couldn't deny him it. But for me, lads, watching on, the fella who epitomised the Brigid's performance and is the leader there is the Roscommon captain, Brian Stack. He's full back. He was in the corner of the hide 3 weeks ago after getting what looked like a very bad knee injury. He had a hyperextension of the knee. he made it back for the semi-final, came on the last couple of minutes when they were under pressure against Mohill. He started at the weekend. Nobody has got the better of Brian Stack all this year. I think his direct opponents have scored a point from playing him at most, maybe 2, for Roscommon and Brigid all year long. There's
What?
just yeah.
For Roscommon as well.
And Brigid, all-star nominee. He's absolutely off the charts all this year.
Exceptional.
That is ridiculous, reckless stat.
Yeah, it's well. Look, that's. I haven't fully verified that stat, but it is something like that. It is something like that.
It's around that.
It's very, very close to that. If it's not true,
he was brilliant the other day, though. But that spine of Brigid's team, like he was exceptional, and O'Carroll up front as well was very clinical. That was the key to their victory.
Yeah, exactly. In terms of those kind of man markers, and like Brian Stacks kicks that point in the second half, and I would have a kind of conversations with a couple of people in Roscommon yesterday. They feel like Brian Stack could offer so much more value a little further forward, but he's just so valuable back as a full back that, you know, they'd see him as a natural midfielder in the years to come. Still quite a young man, 25, 26. Those man markers, lads, you know, the ones that just always seem to get the better of you. I don't want to hear about your Tom O'Sullivans and your Mark O'Shea's or your Mick Fitzsimons in Dublin training, because whenever you boys get asked who is the toughest marker, you always turn to your own teammates. I want to hear, talk to me. Come on, don't give me the stock answer. Talk to me about some of those markers that begrudgingly always got the better of you.
Oh,
but you know, the first thing about the markers, right? They are so valuable.
Yeah,
they're similar to having that scoring corner forward who's going to put the scores on the board. The fella marking the marquee forward on the other end is so crucial because it allows you to play a completely different way. If you don't have those markers, you have to get bodies back. You have to get everyone defending, blocking space because you don't trust your full back line to actually get out and get the fist in when the ball comes in. So, like, they're completely undervalued and underappreciated. And if I could build a team, I'd hope that one of my 2 best players was a cornerback, that every day he goes out will quieten the opposition best forward.
It's such a specialist position.
Such a specialist position. And
so important. If you trust your full back line, that
you can push right up.
It allows you to be far more aggressive. Lads, go up there. We'll deal with this. Some of the great, like Anthony Lynch from Cork, one of them, unbelievable. Obviously, Mark O'Shea as well was huge for Kerry. Allows the team to play. We had Fitzy meet Philly McMahon, Johnny Cooper at different stages as well. The rest of the team just takes confidence from it. It's like he'll deal with him, no matter who it is. Because naturally, when you get to the later stage of the championship, all the top teams have 2 or 3 guys that need serious watching. And if you don't have the guys, if you don't trust them, then you've got to say, well, we'll sacrifice our half forward line. They all come back. It's just a totally different way of playing.
It gives you some confidence. Yeah.
But you know what? Jack O'Connor used to have a tactic, right, where you weren't allowed go back further than a line. So say a midfielder couldn't go back past the half back line, or the half forward line couldn't go back past the midfielders or go past the half back line.
That's back in the 80s, huh?
That was in 2010.
Wow.
Because he knew that his full back line was so good that they needed to put the heat on outside and just take the risk. Like there's not many teams doing it now because the quality of full backline players, you probably might have 1 at a time, but Jack had probably 3 of them at the time to defend. But you can play such an attacking game if you have them.
We used to run training games where you couldn't leave your line, like.
Really, yeah.
Like it was great for the forward because like you didn't have to go back into your own half.
And what did that mean for the quality of the game?
It just forced man to man all over the pitch.
Yeah.
So like, and we do 20 minutes, and I tell you,
that is unreal. Oh, I would love that.
We used to do it. I just think we did it maybe for playing you guys, Jimmy, or for playing Mayo. If we were going to be playing a team that was going man to man, we used to kind of filter training matches. And go, we're going to play 20 minutes. 6 forwards, you're not allowed to go back into your own half. Midfielders, you're not allowed to go up and back. You just have to stay between the 45s. And it was just man-to-man battles all over the pitch. The ball was just coming, and it's just like...
Is it just constant kicking?
It's just a normal match.
You have so many options.
You're not allowed to go back.
Yeah. You have so many options on the ball.
You have to either beat your man or you just kick pass. That was it. And
God.
You will be in bits because it was just flat to man on man.
We've just
It was
fixed
great.
football.
For forwards, it was great. Yeah.
That is the
We've
bee's
just
knees.
fixed football.
So,
That's football fixed. Forget about your blankets. There you go. If you're cornerback, you're not getting up there. If you're
That
midfield,
was it.
no
Yeah.
more tracking back.
Defenders hated it because they had to defend, and then forwards loved it because just one man on man. You couldn't go.
Used to be back playing into county if that was the case.
No, I'd be totally because it needed to be fast. It was man on man. But I remember, it was. There were certain games where we'd do that type of training.
Class.
that is the best training you can do as well. Like those type of games or 13-a-side games where it's so open that you have to you just artificially make one-on-one situations like that.
But it didn't suit some players at all. Because you know, like lads that drop out and get on a handy ball and all. I'll go in here and drop around midfield and get on stuff.
Anyone who follows the ball, forget it. You have to be 2 steps ahead because you have to be
sprint
predicting
to win the ball.
Yeah, you have to be predicting where the ball is going to go, and then you have to put on the afterburners.
But there's no handy hand passes around. It was nearly everything was going to be a kick pass. You're racing out to the ball, and again, that doesn't suit everyone.
But that is still how I judge a player up front. How many kick passes did you receive in the game? Because anyone going around getting handy hand passes, looping, you're not a true forward if you're doing that.
That's why I've such time for Ben O'Carroll.
Yeah,
he's a key role. He plays it for Roscommon. He played it for Brigid at the weekend. I agree. I was fond of the old loop point myself, Jimmy. I'm not going to lie, but
I know you were always the first man out for the foot pass.
Yeah, but I like the loop because it's just easier. You get a
well, obviously that's still probably the handiest way to get a point. But I mean, a fella who can win the ball from kick pass out in front, that has the intelligence to time the run, has the hands to catch it, has maybe the push off, the drop, the step. There's so much in it. I think it's
a very hard.
It's an underappreciated skill. Yeah,
because you're racing someone all the time. There's a man up your hole, and you've got to go. Like that was my role for a couple of years with Dublin. It was just. You have to be the link, and you're naturally you're probably not going to score as much because you're going out there to allow for a quick transition, and then the guys inside are behind you, and that's why I have a soft spot for O'Carroll because I see him doing it so well.
Andy Moore
was brilliant.
Was brilliant at it. Yeah,
but Andy Moore was very smart at it as well, and the way Mayo played, he didn't have to go out he was allowed to stay inside. He wouldn't have got the ball 50 yards from goal. No. He was really smart running, but it was lateral moves, and he was getting kick passes inside the 21 like that.
He was getting it on the way to goal.
But that's when he wins Player of the Year in 2017. He was exceptional, but he got so many kick passes because he had a brilliant partnership with Killian O'Connor.
They had screening down to a T.
Screening, but if you all the kick passes he's getting in scoring positions. My thing with Dublin was I was going out the pitch to get it because it was to create space for him behind, whereas. And he was just probably a little bit smarter, and just the way Mayo played to his strengths as well. But if you have someone like that inside, we're talking about ball winners. You know, people think it must be someone like Bomber Liston or something. You don't have to be like that. It's been a really smart. Ian Burke was like it with Galway, really effective player at doing it as well.
You don't have to be outrageously quick. Like Andy was, it was his timing.
That was fascinating, lads. That was really interesting.
Great chat. That's just insight.
Yeah. It makes me want to go back on the training pitch. No matter how cold it is, I'd love to be training and playing football.
Tell me now, because you're not fast, you're fucked.
No, I am. I'm screwed. Yeah. I'm absolutely screwed.
That's what got me in the end. You do have to wheels.
James, are you training for the O'Donoghue Cup?
Is he? What?
Yeah, but we're not finished yet. We're still in there.
The Great Fuss
won the weekend. Yeah,
no?
I didn't see the Corofin game, so I went so quiet there when you're talking.
You just spent 10 minutes slating Corofin. You didn't watch the fucking thing.
I didn't. I saw the highlights.
So you played Fossa the 2 weeks after they lost the intermediate final to Milltown Castlemaine. Did you shoot the lights out?
No, point only.
Oh, not like that.
I had four wides. I put 1 from 5.
20%.
20%, yeah.
Man.
And it was not a bad day either. It was like calm, dry, nice pitch.
Very honest from you, Jimmy. There, you could have hammed that up. You say, gale force winds, hurricane.
No,
because you're Hammers O'Donoghue 2014 Footballer of the Year. The lads just keep shooting, James. Don't worry about it. Or are they like, what is wrong with you?
A bit of both. Cop on, but keep at it. We said we kick 16. Well, we went 16-11, so we definitely should have had 120, 121, which would have been decent scoring, but
Who
we
did
didn't.
the damage when you weren't stepping up?
We've like called Finbar Murphy. He got 8 points.
Impressive.
Ooh.
And
So yeah, the boys came on. David and Paddy came on with about
No
20 minutes to go, 25 minutes to go.
Jesus.
And it's a massive competition. As you don't understand. You see, this is true GA. This is just passion. No lights, no nonsense, no glory outside of your town. It's just pure passion.
God.
Can you pay cash on the gate or is it just card?
It's a subscription.
Okay. I must make it down to your Donoghue Cup final. Is it going to be before Christmas?
Week before Christmas, isn't it?
So at semi-finals, we've Kilcummin on Sunday in Fitzgerald Stadium, Crokes and Spa, Fitzgerald Stadium on Saturday.
Spa.
To be fair, I would love to still be playing football. I think plenty of people would, instead of be doing grueling pre-season gym.
Well, it does depend on your club facilities, because we have, in fairness, we did up our pitch, savage lights, unbelievable surface. It's a joy going training. Whereas a couple of years ago we didn't have it. It was dark, depressing, no lights, boggy field. Then you're like, take me to March. I don't want to be here. Like,
yeah.
So that is a help.
O'Donoghue Cup aside, we've got the Ulster Club final this weekend and the Munster Club final. We've got Dingle and Castlehaven at 2:00 on Sunday, and we've got Glen against Scotstown at 4:00 on Sunday.
Ooh,
Paddy, I would just give you a word of advice when you're making your predictions this time. Maybe just play politics a little bit instead of just going, no chance.
No chance.
Okay, Glen, Scotstown, Paddy.
Scotstown.
Really?
Yeah, of course.
How come?
I think they've better scoring power than Glen. Glen are there's a bit of Kilmacud Crokes in Glen, isn't there? That they're really, they don't give you anything. They're experienced. But I just think Scotstown have enough to win this game on Sunday. Even though they weren't great themselves in their own semi-final. They obviously got out of jail against Trillick, but I've liked the look of Scotstown. I've seen them a couple of times. I think the big players are going to stand up for them. I think they're going to do it.
James, before I give you the final word in this game, I think Glen are coming for Kilmacud Crokes, and I think they're going to get the job done. I really like the Scotstown team.
I think there's for Scotstown first. I think
there's quality.
Thinking about anyone else.
Quality across. I just think I think we're going to get that narrative after Christmas. So I wouldn't be disappointed.
Which would be brilliant to see as well. But
I wouldn't be disappointed if Scotstown win. There's some cracking footballers in that team, and a Scotstown Kilmacud Crokes semi-final would be a cracker too. James, what way do you see that one going?
I don't know. What I do know is it is going to be.
You know what's going to happen.
I think 9-9, and the winner will come in the 62nd minute. And I don't know who it's going to be, but I'm going to say Glen.
Okay,
that is, I guess.
Okay,
you can't realistically have that much. It's impossible to call that game.
Both games are very hard to call.
Dingle Castlehaven.
I think Dingle would. Tommy, I know you.
I'm going to have to give Castlehaven a good chance here now.
What did Dingle do to you?
For the last month.
They came through the might of
What
Cratloe.
did Dingle do to you?
They bet Rathcormac. Dingle are representing Kerry just by virtue of
winning the club championship.
Being a great town as well.
What do you have to win to qualify?
They're a cracking.
Where would I rather go for a weekend? That's what I'm going to go with Dingle on this. That's the best way to call it. What's the fish place down in Dingle? The fish box, is it? On the right in the pier there.
The fish box.
I think it's called that. Yeah,
I think it is actually.
Yeah, it's top of the pops.
It is the fish box. Yeah, you're right.
That will also be.
What the fuck are you laughing at?
That will also be a low scoring game. I reckon 13-12.
2.
I fancy Dingle. I think Dingle will win it.
Okay.
Very close though.
There'd be a bit of crack at Dingle if they won that, wouldn't there?
There would.
Will Mark O'Connor be home?
No.
That's the key.
It's not.
That
would be. It would be a huge bonus for Dingle, but
I don't think it's the key.
Yeah. If that. Okay. Yeah. That's a very long shot key. Like, get a fella out of his professional contract for a weekend.
It's a hard sell. Fly all halfway across the world.
That's fair.
Big
That's
ask.
fair. Okay.
So what? So Tommy, you're thinking? You think Glen and Castlehaven?
I don't know. I'd give both Dingle and Castlehaven a right shot at that. I don't think there's much between either
Only
team.
two in a
Really.
minute. Like, give them both a chance. It's like fucking.
Could also be a draw.
Oh well, don't rule out a draw.
No,
Two
winner
draws.
on the day. Winner on the day.
Right, Scottsdale Dingle for me.
Gaelic grounds as well. The Dingle game is on.
I like that pitch.
Yeah, lovely pitch.
Yeah.
Glen Dingle for me.
I'm going Glen Dingle as well.
Dingle. But out of all four places, we're in agreement. We'd rather go to Dingle for the weekend.
Yeah.
No disrespect to the other three. But
Well,
swings it for me.
Scots, Dingle and Castlehaven are both coastal towns, so you know.
Which I do enjoy the coast. Yeah.
One or the other. Lads, it's been a pleasure. We got through enough there, I think, on this week's episode of the Football Pod. We'll be back next Monday. The pod is brought to you with thanks to AIB, proud sponsor of the Senior Club Hurling and Camogie Championships. Check out hashtag
The toughest
for more.
For more.
James, good luck with the training all this week.
Thanks, Tom.
Paddy, I hope the rest of your week is quiet.
It's not. Yeah, I know.
Busy man.
Yeah, it's all action, isn't it? Showbiz.
Showbiz.
Showbiz, baby.
Be good, fellas. Been a pleasure. Talk soon.
See you, boys.
Au revoir.